Right, starting a bit early. Yeah, just sat down and started drawing this, and I was like, I'm not gonna wait. I mean, I don't think anyone's watching anyway, but no use waiting. Can I have a quick look at? Because we have gone a bit mental with one of them. Yeah, this one. Yeah, it's not too mental. It's not too crazy. So yeah, we're going full. I've always liked this kind of style with the like overly big grin and the overly big teeth. Probably should have coloured that in first, never mind. Let's get our tooth colour. Is it weird that all of the goblins and orcs have the same tooth colour? Yeah, I like that.
Ajá, ¿hiciste pipí? ¿Hiciste pipí o pipí y pupi? ¿Ah?
Eyebrows. Goblins don't have eyebrows.
¿Hiciste pipí y pupi? Ok, vamos a limpiar el culo. ¿Solo pipí? ¿Seguro? Ok, toma, aquí tienes para los drippy bits. Bye bye. Sí. Para que la dentista no se asuste. Los dientes sucios.
Okay. Then I think a lot is going to come down to how the teeth are shaded.
¿Hace frío afuera?
I think they should have strong shading.
¿Cómo? No, señor, tienes dos pulmones del mismo tamaño. Vamos. No, ya te dije que no. No, se viene con nosotros. Vamos, amor. Vamos afuera, venga. No, en el cargador. Para tener más movilidad, cariño, porque ¿te gusta eso? Muérdelo, pues. Como tenemos que coger varios autobuses, ¿verdad? Entonces, no sé.
I think that might be enough.
Dos de ida y dos de vuelta. Vale. Entonces, no sé si... ¿Dos de vuelta? Sí. Vamos a coger así de autobuses hoy. ¿Por qué hacían autobuses hoy? Bueno, porque tenemos que ir. Papi, ¿qué estás haciendo? Quiero que me caiga.
Could you have some kind of helmet?
Porque ya estoy cargando a tu hermano y solamente puedo cargar uno a la vez. ¿Vale? Una bolsa fastidiosa que tengo que llevar porque no me puedo ir sin
Let's
nada.
try a bit of hair. Yeah, I think this looks cool. Yeah, it kind of took me 10 seconds, but I think that's fine. I think that's cool. Just a little bit of character to him. Okay. I think that's basically the orcs done for now. So the next thing, it's a pretty wild one, but it's to draw the undead. Big, big, big change. So we actually have undead versions. So we have green beans undead, human beings undead, human beings undead. Just so we can get our skeleton. And then we need, and we're making fresh ones now. So I'll keep this as, and then do we want to do like Dark Shawn, for example? Do we want that? Or should we do the heroes first, or should we do the characters? I think the heroes is a good place to start, just because I've been doing it today. These kind of more high effort. I don't think I need this chef hat. More high effort. So let's give that a whirl. So yeah, we've got our orcs, got our humans, our orcs, our, I guess, non-used character, but we'll just keep it because it never makes sense to delete things. You may keep them, you never know. Just had a little idea with this one. Just thinking. Just to really hammer home this guy's sternness. Yeah, so let's open up. So actually we want to open up just human beings. And let's do dark Sean. I mean, Sean is going to change. Like that's the thing about this, is like so much of this is going to change. I think Sean's look is not necessarily what we want for our hero. I don't know. Let's see. But we certainly want his face here. We'll take his hair as well. And straight away, we can make his hair... I was tempted to make it white. I think we'd go with black. Yeah. And then these bits can be darker black. Yeah, that kind of works. And then we can make his face paler, or like completely pale. More contrast, yeah, I think more contrast. So quite dark darks. And actually the face can be even brighter, I think. And what makes someone look like a goth? So I think you can have like red lipstick almost. You know, we're still kind of a comedy here. Can have a bit of eyeshadow. I think this dark is too dark. Yeah, a bit of eyeshadow. Like goth paint, basically. Like he's a goth now. So he's got eyeliner. He's put on some eyeliner. He's I think I need to kind of redo this hair. He's got an even more accentuated bum chin. He's got an even grimmer face. He's got slightly red eyes. Should we do that? Yeah. And he's got... I think even the original Sean could do with the glow up, to be honest. But let's do it like this and move on. Then we can like do them both together. I mean, I think that's fine. Like, yeah, Sean's simple. Go all in with the lipstick. Like this kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah, that looks good. And then like this Sean, for example, like can have a bit more going on here. Like should have a bit of shading under the hair, right? And he should have sort of better hair. I don't know. Beanie looks good. Beanie's simple. I've kind of like gotten better at making these characters. Like the orc, the goblin here looks much better than Beanie. I don't know what I would change about Beanie. Maybe give her some cheekbones. Let's have a little. Let's give Beanie a bit of a glow up. Is that the colour? Is that really this? No, that's not the same colour. Why is it giving me that colour? Yeah, it's more like it. Cheekbones. Is that better? I think this looks more messy. I mean, I think probably we can do the shadow under the hair, like I just spoke about. I think that gives her a bit more. I think her hair can have a bit more detail too. Yeah, this looks good. Yeah, I think this looks good. And then I'm sort of thinking, so yeah, then we can take the hair. We're repping the gingers here, aren't we? Take this hair and get a darker strand that we can just run across. Just a couple will do on the left side. Maybe we can have it branch off, because if it's there, it's actually on it. We should probably have, actually, again, a bit of a shadow from the hood. So yeah, the shadow from the hood here can then diverge into its own strand of hair. But then we also have the shadow here. And then that kind of looks good and natural, I think. Yeah. So let's just kind of run across here. No, too many mistakes. Good to just be disciplined and just let go of the click every now and then, just to, so it's easier to control Z if you make a mistake. Got the shadow from the hood, and we'll just do this side. But it doesn't have to match the contours, because yeah, and I think that was actually fine like this. And then just to kind of add a little bit more, I kind of just want to have like one, like this. Oh. Gives her a little bit more character, doesn't it? And then like we can take the hair here. I want to make sure that I don't spend more than a couple weeks. No, more than a week, more than the rest of this week. It says Thursday today, then it's Friday tomorrow. I don't really want to take longer than that on doing these sprites, even just all of the sprites that I have left to draw. Just because like it's probably all going to change at some point. Okay, and then so what if we did a bit of shadow here? So then yeah, we can have shadow on one side of the hair. Does that look good? But from up here, shadow on one side of the hair like that. And then we can, what about shadow under the lips? Just to really make them pop a little bit more. Yeah, I mean, you can't really go much further than that. Like drawing sort of characters that are supposed to be attractive, it's kind of easier, isn't it? Rather than characters that are supposed to be like fun and ugly, that have more detail to them. Okay. Yeah, I think that works. I think that looks good. It's so basic. So basic. But that does look like the goblin. They do get more interesting as they go. But yeah, maybe a lot of the characters could do with the glow up. But that's actually our 3 heroes. I kind of felt like it was more. So actually, yeah, let's give Sean his glow up. I kind of like, this is quite easy to convert. Does he have the exact same? He doesn't have the same hairline as Beanie, does he? No. Okay. I kind of want to like redo his hair. like completely. So I will take that, then I'll just paste it over here just in case I want it back. And I'm going to take it and I'm going to delete it. And we're going to try again. And try and sort of, so there's the center, so center parting, I'm clear on that. Yeah, like this. And then matching the contours of his head, and then down, and then kind of borrowing from the previous one, so his hair can be a bit. I think one of the things that bothers me is just how this kind of comes up, looks a bit messy. So we'll just kind of like keep it just like 1 or 2 pixels, or just basically aim for 1 pixel above the contours of the head, and then we can kind of come down, up, restart, kind of come down. And already I'm thinking this is crap. Like this isn't going to look good, because I think it is matching his head too much. It's too thin. No, there was something good about how high up it came, right? So we do the full parting. Does it kind of look a bit like a bell end? I don't think so. So yeah, a bit of height to it. Let's do that on the other side as well. But keep it the same height. And then let's give it a color. I think that orange is too aggressive, but maybe like a sort of darker with a hint of that orange. Okay, we can redo this. Let's just get a baseline. Okay, so we need to fill this line in. I probably shouldn't bother with the 2-layer thing, but yeah, I've already started like this. Yes, let's go a bit darker. Okay. I think the other one's better. I think the old one's better. But maybe I think it would be better just to edit this one. Because there's something about him being like so we're clearly kind of ripping off Arthas a little bit. And that's okay. But what I would like to do is, yeah, just give him a bit more detail. So let's kind of try and fix this a bit. And fix this a bit. Straight away, that looks a bit nicer, I think. Like that. And I think we should do the same thing, kind of almost like a match with Beanie and Sean, where we've got like this, maybe a couple bits of hair coming down like this. So let's give that a whirl. And you can have a couple of them. son's giving his mum a hard time. And they say lo siento. So that doesn't make it better. Does that look at all like what we want it to? Maybe just like just a bit of character, you know? So I guess they'd actually be straight, wouldn't they? They'd just be perfectly straight like this. And then you can have 4 of them. Does that look better? I don't know. And let's bring this down a bit, I think. See how that ends up looking. That's the bloody hair. So yeah, like that. Just the black there, I think is fine. And then we can do just kind of making him look more detailed, just making him look kind of on par with the other hero characters I've done since, because this was the first hero character I drew. And he's kind of a bit more, and I think we can do the color a little bit as well. So let's take the color, and I think we could just oh yeah, see that's all the way up on the saturation, make it a bit less saturated, a bit darker. And then, oh hello Vileplume dude, have you been here before? Are you a regular or a newbie? Yeah, that kind of color looks a bit better. It's a bit, maybe that's a bit too desaturated. So we copy this, a little bit less desaturated. Yeah, I think that's better. I think that's way better. It's less garish. Oh, well, welcome. Thank you for joining. Are you any good at pixel art? Have you done pixel art before? Yeah, making a game. It's called Warbeans. Do you want to have a look at it? It's... I think I should be able to press play without any issues right now. Yeah, let's do a quick run just to break up the monotony of pixel art, because I don't know if you can tell, but I'm not a pixel artist. I'm not an artist of any kind. So yeah, the game's called Warbeans, and the simple premise is it's like Vampire Survivors, but you can summon an army to help you. I think I'm actually thinking of changing the name to Army of Survivors. Actually, probably more like Brotato than Vampire Survivors. What's this? Oh, it's because I haven't got Steam open. Think I need to put in my password. Yeah, they're different styles. I mean, I don't think I can do vector very much. I mean, I probably could, but it's just I have a certain amount of bandwidth in my head, and between like making games and all the other things that I have to do in my life, I don't really have. I kind of just stick to what I know. And yeah, pixel art is a choice. Are you a game dev as well? Huh. I guess vegetables and yeah. I don't know if it looks like Plants vs Zombies. Oh, well, you can see my Steam library. Big spoiler. You can see what kind of games I'm into. Um, but yeah, what I want is yeah, no, I don't want to open that. Yeah, just this. Let me play the game that I bloody made. Why does it remind you of Plants vs Zombies? Yeah, I'll do a quick run just to kind of see how it goes. Let's go maximized. See how optimization is. Oh, okay. This is. I got confused there. I was like, "Where's the sound?" My headphones in right. And yeah, that's kind of confusing, isn't it? Without having the re-rolls, I think you should have to. But this is me having unlocked a couple re-rolls. Sorry, I found a bug right away. Oh, that's cool. I haven't heard of Scratch. Oh, that's cool to have to meet an animator. I did a bit of animation back in the day. I actually have a diploma in 3D animation. Didn't use it much. Yeah, animation's fun. Well, if you ever, yeah, beans are plants, right? And so yeah, simple graphics. If you're ever looking, if you know, I don't have any much money to spend, but yeah, so I do have artifact rolls, and yet it's showing me that. So did I just do the bull wrong? Yeah, if you ever wanted to help out, I'm sure I could use your help. So I have the artifact UI. Right. And we say magic bean. Yeah, magic bean. So if rerolls is greater than 1. Huh. So that is correct. If rerolls is greater than 0. Debug.log rerolls. Because yeah, okay, yeah, yeah. I haven't tried using Scratch. Is it like visual coding, like where you kind of tie nodes together and stuff? So where do we get? So artifact dot rerolls. Okay. Yeah, so artifact. Yeah, that's probably a bit easier. All the games I make are like really weird like RPGs that are like quite dev heavy. So I've never done visual coding. I'm actually thinking of joining a project with someone who's doing a project in Unreal. And I sort of imagine that it can't be that difficult for me to learn Unreal. I think the amount of hard drive space you need just to install Unreal is pretty crazy. Yes, so this is backwards. So we have artifact UI. And so we've confirmed already that rerolls is greater than 0, and yet if rerolls is greater than 0, then the magic bean image should be false. That's right. Reroll debug. Yeah, okay. So I reckon. And then let's go to character and say. So yeah, I'm just doing some debugging. So yeah, we've gone off the pixel art. Yeah, vectors look like Brotato, right? Brotato has a really nice look to it. I guess it's like, yeah. Is there a universe where this game would not look better with vectors? I don't know. Yeah, I think this game probably would look better with vectors. And then vectors. See, I don't even fully understand, because I think vectors is like, it's not necessarily graphics intensive, right? Because that's a Pokemon, isn't it? That, in fact, I can see your. I can't really see your profile picture very well, but that's a Pokemon. I know my video games. Okay, so we've gone 0 rerolls, and then we go reroll added. Is this happening in the wrong order? So let's try using this. Okay, yeah. So that's what's happening. So. Yeah, I got that right. I was very good at Temtem, but that game kind of like didn't have the sustain. But I had purely by accident, through ridiculously good luck, I had a golden Kinu, and I was very proud of my golden Kinu, which I think is Vileplume. So I know it's poison plant, right? Poison grass. Oh, I don't know if I can do that. I've referenced my own games as Easter eggs, but especially with the way Nintendo is, they would probably not very much like me to use one of their things. Yeah. So what's happening here? I don't know if you're interested in coding, but what's happening here is we add our rerolls. But the rerolls get added after the so this generate options happens before the character is generated. So what I want to do, yeah, so if I can probably put that here. So we have character, and we have this bit where we say, so yeah, we load the leaves. And so maybe we can just do that in the other script. That feels wrong though. So this is on character. It shouldn't really be on character anyway. But what if we just took this one and put it in yeah, I guess also a vowel plume is like that could be anything, right? Like not it could be anything. It's not because it is, let me get, if I get this right, that's a mushroom with like a purple body, if I remember correctly. Or is it like is that your profile picture? Maybe that's throwing me off, but I know that vowel plume, or does it have green hair and a purple body or a dark blue body, if I can remember right? I'm going to look it up. I'm going to cheat and look it up. Vowel plume. Oh, no, it doesn't have the... Oh, yeah, no, I'm thinking of Oddish. Okay, so I'm not that far off. I wasn't completely going crazy. I was thinking of Oddish. Yeah, I mean... And so the hair made me think of mushroom, but then it's like, hold on, a plume isn't like doesn't really sound like that's a different thing, right? But it's actually leaves that look like a fly amanita mushroom. That's so weird. Yeah, I mean, there's no plans to add mushrooms. Like you'll see the game in a bit, and you can judge if you think. Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking of Oddish, so I wasn't completely off because Oddish evolves into Vileplume. So yeah. Where was I? So yeah, in Artifact UI, we can do this same thing. We say for each leaf in leaves, if leaf.unlocked is true. Like, I think this is the easiest way to do it for now. Like, this is going to be foolproof because nothing will happen before awake on this script. So this should work. And I'm probably going to have to update the demo. Right. Update beta. That's the wrong to-do list. It's my personal to-do list. Update beta. Because that's going to confuse people. Oh yeah, no, I heard about the Rafflesia. Isn't Rafflesia like that's insanely rare, right? Like it's really hard to find a Rafflesia. Like they don't live for very long and they're quite rare. And it gives off a dead body smell because it wants to attract something or because it wants to repel something. I can't remember. Okay, let's test this out. So that's all saved. And I'm also curious why you so interested in Vileplumes and Rafflesia. I didn't know they were in the Filipinos. I think, where did I hear that? It's probably like a Rotten Mango was probably talking about it or something. A podcast. Okay, Holy Reset on reset cooldowns on heal. Reset cooldowns on kill. That's pretty good. I would get this if I already had a heal build, but this one's good like with whatever build. So let's get this. So yeah, like Brotato. Have you played Brotato? This is like Brotato. But instead of just me versus a horde of units, it's me and a horde of units versus a horde of units. Oh, hello. What's this? If Healer.isPlayer. Okay. All right. So yeah. Okay. So I need to. If healer is player, or if okay, I definitely need to do a build soon because that is a bug that is going to cause people problems. Okay, that's interesting. That's really cool that you got into plants from a game. I'm definitely someone who really enjoys the idea that gaming can teach people things. So that's really cool to hear. So then, yeah, I guess you got into plants, and then yeah, and then plants are your thing. My thing is definitely just like games. It took me a while to realize that, but it's like I'm damn obsessed with them. Okay, debuff reset. Reset all weapons on debuff. Ooh, that could be really good. That could be OP. I want to try that. It's going to be hard to tell if it's OP. So yeah, this means that we pick anything that causes a debuff, which is basically just magic. And there's a chance that upon applying a debuff, that will reset all of our weapons, which is really OP. Sounds like trouble downstairs. Yeah, so we'll pick the witch because that does a debuff. And she got her reset. And she got it again. You see how she just immediately fired again? Because upon applying a debuff, there's a chance that you'll just reset your cooldowns. Oh really? I didn't know that. That's a shame. Yeah, there's a lot of mobile game companies kind of go off the rails a bit sometimes, I think. Everything alright, babe?
No, mi amor.
What's up?
The bloody road is closed. Google didn't say anything. And the app didn't give me the warning until I've been waiting at the stop for like...
Oh yeah, so what, the bus isn't coming there?
No, and it's too late for me to walk to the hospital and get the bus. So I'm going to go in taxi. But Tars is so upset about the fact that he has to go on a taxi. You wouldn't believe it. We eat all of the eggies that they gave us at nursery.
No, I put them in the fridge.
In the fridge. That's what I was looking. Thank you, darling.
No worries.
See if that makes him happy.
What did you think of Plants vs Zombies 2? Yeah, I played Plants. I played the crap out of Plants vs Zombies on PC. I think it was one of the few games I could get on a Mac. Back when I was one of those Mac people. It's only because my parents were. Mac, like I used to be like hardcore like Mac-alite. Actually, I just want to check something. Killer reset. Is that? Okay, yeah. So yeah, that's pretty OP. If the hero does a debuff, then everybody resets their cooldown. That means that's pretty cool. Okay, let's improve what we have. I might need to nerf this. Let me see. So killer reset is 25% chance. Debuff reset. Like if you play into this, that's basically 100%. That every single hit you do, unless you like intentionally avoid. So I think I need to nerf this, and so I'm gonna find debuff reset. should be... So debuff reset should be, I think 10% chance. Not 20%. And actually we've got it here at 50%. Jesus, that's so, like, yeah, it's so predatory. I don't know. I mean, all power to them. They make money like that. And with that money, they can potentially make more game. And sometimes I think maybe I should be a bit more like that. Just, you know, go make a mobile game and make a ton of money. But I kind of like... I don't know, like, it's just really hard for me to get into that headspace, because I like just making good stuff, actually. Like... Okay, yeah, so debuff, procs should generally be quite low. So debuff mana, debuff heal should be 20, debuff summon, yeah, that's a really low chance, and debuff and double debuff is like, that's probably fine where it is. Let's make it 10. Like, all of this is balancing, but I've just realized, like, debuff is like super powerful. So I will go into artifacts and we go debuff reset, debuff mana should be 10%. Hero can give 3. Debuff mana 3. And then we go debuff heal. What do we say? 20. Debuff heal is 20%. So these numbers is just going to be a matter of constantly tweaking them. Debuff summon, is that accurate? 2.5% chance, yeah. And double debuff should be at 20%. Yeah, I mean, I guess their thinking was that they didn't, like, so here, like, if I balanced Plants vs. Zombies 2, if I was in charge of balancing that or, like, making that, I would be like, and someone said, let's put the old ones in. I'd be like, well, I don't want to balance it around the old ones. So it kind of does make sense to me that it would be, yeah, it kind of does make sense that it would just be the old ones, because it's like, it's purely cosmetic, like you don't need them. And then it's like, if you want to experience those, just use the old one. But I just think it's silly, like, locking parts of your game behind a paywall unless you're really, like there's a right way and a wrong way to do it. Like, I think a DLC is fine, but you've got to frame it like that. Like, don't make it like, oh yeah, you can unlock all of the plants except these ones. Unless they come with a pack, like, with, you know, make it a meaningful purchase. But, like, I don't buy MTX. I don't make games with MTX. I just do not mess around with that stuff. All right, bye. Have fun. Yeah, see, that's just predatory. I just think, like, my attitude as well is just, you know, I kind of play a game and then I stop playing it. You know what I mean? Like, just stop playing the game. Like, I don't want to come back month after month after month to play the same game. Like, it doesn't make sense to me, and it never really has. Yeah, I guess balancing isn't much of an issue. But yeah, I just avoid, like, I used to want to find the perfect game that you could just play forever, but, like, I think, have you heard that phrase, there is no perfect pasta sauce, only perfect pasta sauces? I think I can pick whatever I like. Let's go with the looter. And I think that's like one of the truest phrases I've ever heard. It's like like having that you can't make the perfect product, but what you can do is have a series of pretty good products. Let's go with, why would I want luck? Let's just stick to upgrading what I have and then see what my next artifact is, because it's going to come in less than a minute. Should probably get a heal. So I can heal all my guys. Was it crit, I think, yeah. Well, this is going to be an OP run, like I should be able to just completely dominate. The Chinese is, I thought, did they have a different version between Chinese and English? And why do I just feel like I healed everyone? Did I eat a chicken? Is the what is the AoE on heal? Weapons. Heal. AoE 3 point. No, that's not too bad. It doesn't get much higher than that. Okay, that's fine then. Yeah, having a bit of AoE is good. Okay, oh, now I get 3 artifacts. Okay, artifact choices. Let's do that as well. So I think it was in character, and we go artifact choices, and we'll do this over in artifact UI as well. So that our first artifact choice reflects this change. Okay. Chance to reset all weapon cooldowns on heal. Heal 5 on kill. And where's my rerolls? Oh, okay. So when we say reroll button, where is this? This is in character still. And we say if artifact reroll is equal to 0. So what I actually want is when we awake, so we'll say this is off by default. Reroll button is off by default, and then if we add any, then it's just on by default now. And why was this even getting called? Oh, because it would have happened just after? I don't know. Okay. Hopefully this will fix it. That's mad. That's actually mad that the Chinese version of a game ended up being the less aggressive one. I know that generally Chinese monetization is way more aggressive, usually. So it's funny to hear that in this case it's different. Okay, so this is just going to happen once on awake, and if we have found any of them, then we are going to turn the button on. And that should do it. Okay, so I do have some healing. And I can get some more healing. Killer heal is good. It's okay. Heal 5 on kill. So everyone will heal 5 on kill. Meaning everyone will have their own sort of sustain. That's probably better. And then I can get this after that. Because I've only got one source of healing. And resets, like if you've got things resetting from more than one source, I guess that doesn't make a difference. But let's just go with killer heal. It's going to be an OP run anyway, because the things I have in here need nerfing. Well, I might change the name of the game, so it might not be called Warbeans Forever, just because. Well, so I'm gonna change the name to Army of Survivors, because that does a much better job, I think, at telling you what it is, like telling you what the game is, and then as for the beans, like. So then suddenly the bean theme kind of becomes less relevant. So the main character of this game is called Sean. So that's obviously a reference to Sean Bean. And then the second character, like the female lead, is called Beanie, which is like London slang for a woman, for a girl. You say that bare tick beanie. That was the slang. And then we've got a few like subtle bean references, but also the level up screen is a beanstalk, and when you when you reach the timer, the way that the game stops is it gives you a like a giant foot appears and starts squashing you. Because of like Jack and the Beanstalk, basically, like a giant Jack and the Giant Beanstalk. Like there's a giant at the top of the beanstalk, and I was gonna have this whole thing where like you could kill the giant, but like I think Army of Survivors makes more sense. I've just kind of like pivoted a bit in like theme and kind of direction, which is why I've been drawing these, well, like more like a sort of copy of like. Lord of the Rings. I'm leaning more into like the fantasy element now, like Lord of the Rings, Warcraft, Warhammer, and then and ideally I would like to like completely redraw these characters, but I don't think that's likely. But if I had more money, I definitely would pay an artist to just redraw all of this. I might just do it myself, possibly. Yeah, everyone's going to be shaped like a bean. But that might just be like a thing that we don't have to explain it, We just say, oh, I've got my special. We don't have to explain it. We just say like, look, this is what they look like. But yeah, ideally, I'd like to actually redraw all of these characters to make them look a bit nicer. So yeah, it's a long process, this game, but like the reason they look like this is because it's just much easier to draw and animate, of course. But if they were just like animation doesn't have to be difficult. But yeah, it's like I'm definitely changing the name. So yeah, I just don't want to lean too hard into the bean thing. I want to stick to being like being. Yeah. Well, because I do like these fun kind of ideas, and I definitely like to at the moment I'm still just thinking about like what's absolutely necessary for like the first release. Like, I'm not like a vertical slice, but like, okay, I want 10 I want 16 characters, I want 4 factions. The magic number is 4 in this game. And just kind of getting that and figuring out what those things should be, and like, good, they are getting a lot of these resets. It's because it's like AoE to it. But yeah, no more suggestions for plant-based Easter eggs. Okay, so killer heal is pretty universal. I mean, everyone's just like machine gunning with their spells because pretty much you see like how often they're resetting. So I might need to nerf it even more than I did. But you know, since you've been kind enough to come into the stream and chat, I thought I'd show you the game, and it's always just another chance to do more balancing. But balancing is going to be a long process. So yeah, every time I do play it, I take the time to kind of do a bit of balancing. Okay, yeah, and we're shining, so we do have our special. Kill that bloody shaman. And get this frost mage. So now we have these Gandalfs. Are you a fan of Lord of the Rings? Because one thing I always thought is funny about Lord of the Rings... one thing that I found, no Easter eggs, no Easter beans. One thing I thought was funny about Lord of the Rings is how, like, so in the Lord of the Rings universe, as a wizard, it seems to be one of those games where when you level up, you get all your HP back, which is what happened with Gandalf against the Balrog. Like, so he kills the Balrog, and then. Jesus, yeah, no, that's way too OP. He kills the Balrog, and then he's like, shit, he's got a little bit of, like, ticking burn damage. He's like, I'm done for, I'm gonna die. But then he leveled up. So then he got all his, Oh, but you've seen Lord of the Rings, right? You've seen the movie. You must have seen Lord of the Rings. Let's get something that combines with the looter. You must have seen Lord of the Rings. I'm like on the edge of my seat now, like yeah, there are games of Lord of the Rings, but really it's, I mean, someone would say like really it's a book, but to me, like I'm more of a fan of the films. I didn't think the books were especially well written. I think the books are a really good script for the films. Okay, what do we have here? Big pier. Well, we do have lots of projectiles. Actually, not really anymore. You've heard of it. Okay, so you haven't seen the Lord of the Rings films. Oh god, reset all weapons on healed. Yeah, okay, that's gonna be good. That's gonna be OP. Those are the best films ever made in the world. Like, there's no debating it. There's no like, kind of, it depends what mood you're in. No. There is such a thing as the best film in the world, and Lord of the Rings is it. The series of them, like, you put them together. Ooh, purple chest, nice. Spring bean. No, spring bean. PVZ. So what does it do? What does the spring bean? Yeah. I can't remember what it does. I don't recognize it. So yeah, maybe I never actually encountered it. I did play a fair bit of PVZ and PVZ2. But I never encountered the... No! You have to see... Look, so this is Anduin, Flame of the West. This is the sword that... Lord of the Rings is the best film in the world, bar none. Like, there's no discussion. There's no... yeah, people are saying it's one of the worst plants in the game. No, but I'm concerned now. I'm concerned about, like, the state of the world. Like, where do you think orcs came from? Like, where did all of this fantasy stuff come from? It came from Lord of the Rings. And why? Because that film was so good. Oh, so yeah, I think I remember the spring bean. It's actually not that bad because it's cheap. So if you've got like a good plant that you're upgrading, you put the spring bean in front of it, and it's economic. I can dig that. I mean, knockback is not especially important in this game, as you can see. Like, it's a bit chaotic for knockback. I had a whole... I'm only mentioning that because I had a whole, like, philosophical debate with myself as to, like, whether knockback is good. Whether, like, how much knockback to include in this game. Or, like, could we have a weapon that did knockback? Or, like, should there be an upgrade that does knockback? And my answer was essentially no, like it's not worth it. Oh, you can't upgrade them. You just plant them. I remember the thing I liked about Plants vs. Zombies was the... oh, nice, magnet. The Zen Garden. I think that was the second one. And just having a little Zen garden where you could pop in and garden, because it's resetting. That's insane. I do need to make the meteors look better. Yeah, they're very lackluster. They just look like spaghetti meatballs coming in from the sky. Let's get this. Yeah, so I'm just way too OP right now. Yeah, I like the Zen Garden. I thought that was like one of my first views of, like, I mean, I guess that kind of mechanic's really common now, but just idle games, just like a game where you don't, you know, you don't really have to play very much. You just kind of log in and collect the stuff. Jesus, yeah, this debuff reset. I mean, at this point it was tuned to 50%. So I've tuned it now down to... Because you can see, every time you see this little symbol, that means it's triggered. So that means all of my attacks have reset. Like, all of my attack cooldowns have reset. Which just means I'm basically like a machine gun. Which is just too OP. It's too OP. Because you just see it's just popping off constantly. And every time I do that, every time my character does that, so every time you're seeing that above my head, that's resetting all of my allies' cooldowns. Like, I think that's fun, I think that's cool, but not that much. It's like one of the fun things about this game is the, yeah, just being able to make ridiculously OP builds. But this is too OP. I need to just tune the numbers down a little bit. Make it happen every, like, at the moment I pushed it down to 10%. Here it's 50%. It should probably be like 5%. And yeah, meteors, you can barely see that it's happening. You see all that spaghetti meatballs popping down? Those are supposed to be like meteors raining from the sky. Lovely bomb. Although we don't need it, like, we're just ridiculously strong right now. Like, it's kind of, the fun's been taken out a bit. But, you know, I'll finish this run, just so you can get a sense of, like, the chaos of this game. But yeah, I'm just invincible. And because, whatever, I've got, like, every time I kill something, I've got a chance to heal. And because I've got the healing staff, like, every time I'm resetting my abilities, I'm also resetting my heal. Which just means I'm healing like crazy as well. Yeah, the meteors. They just don't look very good. What I need is to have more like a thin white beam just, and then, you know, then the actual explosion itself like can be a bit smaller. Okay, it's ultimates, chicken buff, more ultimate random buffs on ultimate. I think we can probably just go with this one. What's the difference between leveling and upgrading? Because to me, I guess you could think of them as the same. In this game, I call it upgrades. All of these are upgrades, but you could think of them as levels. It's like they're level ups. The upgrade is the thing that you level up. Yeah, I don't know. So, but if I upgrade this unit, I'm kind of, what I mean is I'm leveling it up. Wow, so many meteors. Well, the good news is that despite the absolute chaos, the game is not running that badly. Could run better, of course. There's always room for optimization. But essentially, the game is running pretty smoothly. And we just have like machine gun wizards. Oh, okay, so that's outside of the match. You level it up and then it's, yeah. Yeah, that's going to throw the balancing way out. But, you know, who needs balancing, eh? I mean, when we played Plants vs. Zombies, are we looking for a meaningful puzzle, which was mainly what the first game was all about? Like, each level felt like a sort of fairly meaningful puzzle where you had to figure it out. Or are we just looking to just put some plants down and, you know, kind of relax and watch them shoot? Because, yeah, I remember playing Plants vs. Zombies and, like, restarting levels and, like, having to kind of min-max and, you know, really think about what is the best way to win each level. But I sort of expect that over time it will kind of just evolve into like, oh, I just want to like plop a bunch of things down and win the match. Okay, we've got big bad meteors and loads of them. Oof. What a weird run. I mean, yeah, definitely need that balancing. Killed nearly 6,000 orcs. Nearly 6,000 green beans. It's just ridiculously OP. It's not even fun anymore. I mean, yet I'm still playing. I think that's a good sign. It's just fun mowing down these enemies and collecting the stuff. And kind of in a way feeling like I'm not doing it alone. The chaos, so many meteors. I mean, I guess it would be kind of like this, just not to this degree. If you had all these artifacts and upgrades, and yeah, you see those circles. Now you're really going to get an idea of how often my spells are just being reset Yeah, I mean, I imagine after a while the designers on Plants vs Zombies just kind of give up and just keep adding shit. Oh, there's the last loot goblin. This is nuts. Absolutely crazy. Oh, let's get the assassin. Now even more OP. Wow. Jesus. It is fun being this OP. Watch out for that guy. Yeah, like, again, I think there's no perfect tower defense games but there are a lot of really cool tower defense games that are worth playing. Okay, now the foot's going to appear and start ruining my day. There we go, it got me straight away. Giant foot. Very Monty Python. So yeah, that's the game that we're making. So we have just improved the look of Sean a bit, and yeah, straight away I think he looks a bit better. She looks a bit better. She looks more cool. She's got more texture to her hair. The soldiers could probably do with a little bit of a glow up as well. I guess, like, while I'm here, right? Like, oh, I don't want to have to do this for each one, though. But, like, I just want to kind of draw the outline of the hat. Give the hat some shade. I did it for the future ones, or did I? I mean, this rim could probably still have some shading. I don't know. Yeah, it might just be the soldier needs some shading, and I can kind of intelligently try to intelligently kind of apply it and copy and paste it around. So just a bit of texture on the hat to give it a bit of depth. This was like the first thing that I made for this game. And yeah, actually, I really don't want to get too bogged down with this, because I may end up redoing all of the art. Yeah, there's too many horror games. Like I like a good horror game, but they are hard to come by. I haven't played Resident Evil Requiem yet, just because I value money. And I've got what I'm playing at the moment is Mugenics. Don't know if you played that one. That's really, really good. Okay, so if I can just take this bit and just add it like that, and then this bit, everything here, and add it like that. Okay, so that's the second helmet done. Then I just need to make sure I'm kind of grabbing it there. Does that interrupt a little bit? Okay, this is definitely the last thing I'm gonna do. Before making the new things. Yeah, well, like Carton of Ban and stuff like that. Yeah, no, I hate those. I mean, I like, you know, I appreciate what they're doing, and yeah, people get into the horror. I remember being a kid, and being into like stupid stuff like that, and yeah, you just kind of get into it. I mean, it's one of those silly ones where like it's popular because it's popular, you know. Kids want to know what's happening there because they just know other kids have played it, and they're like, "Oh, have you played Garden of Ban?" And then they get into it, and they get into the lore, and they want to know what's going to happen to all the characters, and they haven't realized yet that it's all just slop. Maybe I'm too jaded, but yeah, I mean, fair play to them. I mean, it kind of makes you think, wouldn't it be fun if someone made one of these but like actually good? I guess that's Five Nights at Freddy's, like that I mean, I haven't played them all. I only played a little bit of the first one just out of curiosity, but yeah, I feel like there's still a market for, you know, like do a full on like Alien Isolation type experience, you know, but set it in like a theme park with a mascot horror, I reckon, and make it good, make it actually good, get really good artists and environment artists and stuff, and I reckon that would sell like hotcakes. And then if the kids want to play what their big brothers are playing, I reckon that's my theory. And so if the big brothers are playing it, if the adults are playing it, the kids will be, and if it's attractive to the kids, and if you actually, I think one of the things about it is that Garten of Ban and Five Nights at Freddy's are basically gore free. Am I mistaken there? They're not gory. Oh yeah, no, it's optimized like crap. It's probably the coding as well. Like they probably haven't baked the lighting. They probably haven't made they probably haven't like they probably got bits of code that are just like running over and over again when they don't need to. Like you know, instead of using proper like distance measurers and stuff, they'll, you know, that like there's things in the update method that don't need to be in the update method, that kind of thing. I reckon there's loads of that. Okay. So, what was I doing? So we're doing Sean, except we're gonna do. Yeah, but is it like? So is that a PG game? Is it playable for kids? Because maybe that's the trick. Like Five Nights at Freddy's is really scary, but I don't think anything actually happens in it that I would like not want. Like I know with me, so I've got a 3-year-old and I've got a baby as well. The baby can watch whatever he likes because he's not going to remember it. But the 3-year-old, I'm more concerned if he watches some like I'm more concerned if he watches like I would not let him watch Five Nights at Freddy's, because I think Five Nights at Freddy's, I think some of the images in that are really scary and they could give him nightmares. Is that good enough for Dark Sean? I mean, yeah, I guess so. Let's not get too bogged down with it. Yeah, I've watched a couple. I've never played Garden Gotten a Bam Bam, but I watched what was it, Wicked Wizard, that YouTuber. So what's his name? He like rates kind of bad games, and I watched his series on it, so I know what happens in Gotten a Bam Bam. I get the idea, and there's these, you know, and it sort of gets away from the horror and into the sort of wider lore of like who are these characters and what are they doing, and these rivalries, and you know, and I guess that's kind of fun. Like, I don't mind it. I get it. Okay. So the next character to draw is Felicity. So we'll go back to our heroes, Piscal. And we basically want kind of like a sexy, like not that Beanie over here isn't sexy. She's very, very, very cute. But what about an even more sexy version? So we will use her as a base. And I'm going to be quite cheeky, I think, and use... Oh, for God's sake, no. And so she ought to have different hair. Can I keep the hood? No, she shouldn't have a hood. She should have her hair flowing. That seems more her style. Let's not completely copy Warcraft. So let's just fix these. We on the here now. Okay, well, we're gonna cover this with hair anyway. Like, part of me thinks like it wouldn't be a terrible idea for me to just make a game like Gotten a Bam Bam, make a crap ton of money, because they make a crap ton of money without and they definitely aren't spending it on the game. Make a crap ton of money from Gotten a Bam Bam, and then use that money to make an actually good game. But then there's the thing. As much as I hate to admit it, it is easier said than done. It is not easy. Like, although, you know, that's a pretty slop game. They didn't just appear out of nowhere and make that, right? Like, they put their work in, you know, to a degree. They made a bunch of games, and they got lucky with this one. And it's not just luck. They made a really compelling looking character. They studied their market, and they made something that was serviceable, that filled that sort of horror genre. And I respect them for that. I think fair play to them. It's easier said than done. Okay. So we're going for the full, like, sort of sexy done up hair. Kind of almost Medusa-esque, I guess. Okay, and let's make this, I almost think there should be like a hint of blue to it, sort of icy, really, really slightly blue. Yeah, like the kids are just all over that mascot horror. And if you can make a half decent one, and if you, and I reckon if you actually just put in some effort and made it decent, like it doesn't have to take a long time, but just, you know, make it decent. I reckon that'll probably earn a few bucks. But like, I can't be the only person who's thought of that. Like, I reckon if you went onto Steam and really dug deep and looked for mascot horror games, you would find a lot that just have not sold. Okay, this is definitely not the right color, but let's get our darker version. Let's do some line work. This character actually comes up twice, so this is actually a succubus masquerading as an undead. Maybe I'll cut that. I don't know. Is that good? She's kind of an undead character who is not herself undead, but she has access to undead magic. Who turns out to actually be an agent of the demons. Yeah, red lips. Or like blue lips? Blue lips? Raised eyebrow. Yeah, bigger nose, and that's hard to get right. Like, you want sort of pronounced nose. A pronounced nose that's like, you know what I mean? Not like a nasty big nose, but like a pronounced nose. Because generally small noses, people find small noses attractive. But yeah, her whole thing is, so first of all, let's make her a bit paler. Yeah, we're of the same mind. Great minds think alike. It's just about what do we do first. So yeah, we can make her a bit paler. Just get that darker color for the shadows. Bit paler. How much paler? Is that too much paler? No, I think that's about right. We want sexy, sexy goth girl. So lipstick. Do we want black lipstick? And by black, I mean off black. So black lipstick, like almost black. Or do we go with blue even? Dark blue, or is that not sexy? That's too alien, right? Yeah. Well, it's off white. It's that's my skin tone, I think. Eggshell. American eggshell. Do we give her the red eyes? Sean's got the red eyes. I'm not even sure if Sean should have the red eyes. I think maybe white eyes should be like the thing for the undead. Yeah. Because orcs have red eyes. Orcs and goblins have red eyes. So I feel like that's their thing. Except for this one, he's got gold eyes, but that's because he's related to loot goblins. So like for undead, white eyes, yeah. And so are we getting sexy across? So I think her having the same lips as Beanie might be a bit of a slap in the face, but it also might be kind of cool, like a good slap in the face. Like maybe she should be like have more of a smile. Maybe she should have more like classic lip shape. you know. Let's give that a try, because we can always just copy. Oh, that was there before. Delete that, and then bucket it in, and give her the lips that I literally just drew. So we go mid 3, up 2, down 1, up 2, down 1, and then we give it one of these. Slightly bigger on the left, or should they be perfectly symmetrical? And then little smile, little one-sided smile. I think that's quite a bit lower than. Nab. Let me have a look at Nab. That's not the one from the cover, is it? If I just type Nab, is it going to come up? Yep. Oh yeah, Nab's cool. Yeah, there's something there. Yeah. It's the kind of like unhinged shit that I used to do when I did my 3D animation course way back in the day. That's the kind of unhinged shit I used to draw, and I had quite a lot of fun drawing that kind of thing. Let's try with the red. I mean, I think red might not suit her style. And then are we okay with her not having... So there's a few lips we can draw. If I was a proper artist, and yeah, let's go ahead and do the nose, because the nose is starting to look quite small already. So let's do like... just like that. Yeah, she's a bit more alpha than Beanie, I guess. I mean, I don't know, it depends what you mean by that. But it's a round nose. I'd say that's like a perfect nose for this resolution. And then and then her eyebrows can just generally be a bit higher. Right? And we will have one, so it's like higher. Just like this. Does she have thick eyebrows? Oh, I love a girl with good eyebrows. And we can go... I kind of feel like the biggest slap in the face... that's not really selling what I want it to sell. Fix her hair. Is her hair broken? I mean, yeah, I guess we need... You have to bear with me, because I'm not very good at this. I'm not very good at drawing in general. Give it a back. Because like that, so her special move is like a blizzard attack. So I quite like this kind of hair. When I originally thought of her, I'm basically like, I don't know if you know your Warcraft, but like Sylvanas, basically. It's Sylvanas. But I like that the character is Sylvanas. But yeah, it's a bit better, right? And then this line is looking awful now, so we'll do... like the character is... Well, no, the character is not... Sylvanas was an undead who... She's like, I don't know, a sexy female undead. And I think that's like a character type that people enjoy. I mean, let me have a look at Sylvanas. Like, what is it that makes... How can I like ape Sylvanas without aping Sylvanas, basically? Windrunner. Do you know your Warcraft? So one of her things is big ass eyebrows. That's kind of what like.
Sylvanas Windrunner
shut
was.
up. I think that might just be. I've got videos on, that's why. So this is Sylvanas Windrunner. And I think one of the things. So yeah, she's got like drippy gothic eyes. So like. It's just like mascara running kind of. Like if we were just to like just playing around and experimenting, and then the eyebrows actually come over her hood, which is a fun choice, isn't it? Grey lips. You mean like dark like blue lips, or dark grey lips? Like these lips I quite liked. She looks like she hasn't fully committed to being a goth girl. That's the problem I have here. The eyes are a bit funky, so she's no longer sexy. She's a bit too occultish. You know? That might be the eyes. Light grey. Okay. So like... I need to go back to... Yeah. Light grey. Yeah. I mean, how do you kind of get sex appeal across? I think it would be quite funny, if she had a beauty spot in the exact same spot as Beanie, or like on the other side. Yeah, just as a kind of like so the idea, just to give some context to the character, Beanie is like loyal to Sean, right? I don't think that it's not explicitly stated that they're in a relationship, but it's not explicitly stated that they're in a relationship, but you know, she likes him. She probably likes him a bit. Let's put it on blue and then just give it a tiny nudge in that direction. And do they need to be bigger, the lips? Because then we could have the close. We could have the seal of the lips. So like, how would that look? So yeah, so Beanie is loyal to Sean. She'll kind of follow him wherever he goes, right? And where does he go? Sean wants to kill the undead. Sorry, Sean wants to kill the orcs. That's his thing. Sean wants to kill orcs. That's kind of, I think that's better. Yeah. Sean wants to kill orcs. That's his thing. Like he wants to kill orcs at any cost. And there's not much lore. The lore is basically like orcs versus humans, right? But the orcs, and so Sean is like the prince of the humans, and he wants to go and kill orcs. So he goes out and kills orcs. And he brings Beanie, and he brings Rowan the priest, or rather Rowan insists on coming and is like the voice of his father, the voice of the king. We're not going to meet the king. And Jack, his kind of loyal, sort of roguish sidekick, right? And they go out to fight the orcs. These are the orcs. And they fight. Smash, 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 smash. We get straight to it. This is Warcraft. This is what people love. Humans versus orcs. And then as the fight goes on, and so why are the orcs here? Well, the orcs are coming because they conquer, they pillage, they destroy. That's what they do. They're bad guys. But they've really underestimated the humans, because this guy is like, yeah, the humans are an easy... Yeah, great story. Humans versus orcs. This guy wants to kill... This guy basically wants to create chaos. So because Sean can't kill the orcs, right? And if you have you played Warcraft 3? It's basically Warcraft 3. He wants to kill the orcs. He's not strong enough to kill the orcs. So he goes and gets undead power. There's a lot more to it than that, but that's basically the gist of it. He wants to become stronger so he can protect his kingdom. So he goes to the crypt. And so, swayed by this girl and some like old necromancer dude, he goes and seeks the power to raise the dead. A bit like Lord of the Rings at the end. It's like, I need an undead army to help me fight these orcs. It's my birthright. Let's go get it. And then they go and get it. And then, yeah, he goes and gets the undead power and turns into Darkshawn. Which is obviously not great. Like, he ends up turning on and like the undead kill some of the humans, and then it becomes orcs versus undead versus humans, which is a big ruck. Lots of death and destruction and chaos. And then this has all been the plan of the demons, who are like interdimensional aliens who just want to kill, who want there to be as much death and destruction and chaos as possible, so that they can then come and like clean up, basically, and take everyone's souls. And that has basically been at the behest of this lady, Felicity, who is in fact a succubus. And also this guy, yeah, like, well, you know, some guys like the bad girl, right? And then this guy, he's a bit like Gul'dan from Warcraft. He's basically, he wants the orcs to fight the humans, even though it's a battle they can't really win in the long term, because he also wants death. He's been basically promised power by the demons in exchange for putting the humans and orcs at war with each other. So once all the humans and the undead and the orcs are all fighting each other, the demons descend and start wreaking havoc. Felicity shows her true colours as like a demon queen. Her real name is actually Itisilef, which is Felicity backwards. Why Felicity? Felicity is a long name for Flick, right? You could shorten Felicity to Flick, and if you don't know what Flick your bean means, I don't know how old you are, but yeah, Flick your bean is a euphemism for something, yeah. So that's the story. So yes, and then of course what happens is, because Beanie never abandoned Sean, and because, you know, the Jack and Rowan were kind of waiting in the sidelines, there's going to be a necromancer character that I haven't started drawing yet. But they basically, like, the undead turn on the demons and say, right, we're going to fight the demons for a bit, so that the humans and orcs can escape. And then here's all the chapters. So yeah, humans versus orcs, orcs versus humans, fight. Let's go to the crypt. They try and stop it, and then humans fight the undead in the crypt. Orcs fight the humans and the undead in the crypt. Undead versus orcs, undead versus human, undead versus orcs again in a different location, and then yeah, the demons arrive, and the orcs and the humans, humans and orcs go against undead and demons for a while, so it's like a 2v2, and then the undead join the human and orc side again, because they're like, screw these demons. And then basically it's time to go to the demon palace, where the demon lord is there, about to complete his ritual to sacrifice the whole of humanity, and you get to choose which faction you want to use to go up against the demons, and that's that. 16 missions. So usually a survivor game like this doesn't have a story, but I think that makes for kind of quite a compelling USP, like the fact that it's not a obviously it's not a Shakespeare high end, like super thought out intricate story. It is just kind of copying a bunch of other stories and keeping it very simple, just kind of giving characters excuses to fight each other. It's, you know, Sauron and the One Ring. It's Isildur collecting the Ring of Power in order to fight, in order to protect his kingdom. But it turns out that, it just makes him evil, and and then they fight the demons and they win, and that's that. Simples. And it kind of leaves space for, like, we don't get to see who the king is, like what the big plan is. The orcs leave and they're like, you're worthy opponents. If we're gonna fight you, we're gonna bring the whole horde next time, basically. And yeah, that's the story. I'm gonna try her with epic Sylvanas eyebrows. So that'll be in this layer. And we'll go. How crazy are Sylvanas's eyebrows? Like, pretty crazy. They go way outside of the hood. So if we do like how does that look just off the bat? I think that just looks weird and confusing. I think she's fine with just... But I sort of can't tell... What's a seductive raise of the eyebrow? And are the eyes too much? Does she look better without those eyes? Maybe just a little bit. Just a little. Sylvanas has black lipstick. Oh no, sometimes she has like so very dark purple, but then purple is part of her motif. But then what if is this the perfect hair color? Hair color on a character like this cannot be, like, the importance of choosing the right color cannot be overstated, I don't think, right? So let's try like a sort of purplish almost. Yeah, same sort of tone, very desaturated. And then we go darker one. That kind of makes her more seductive in a way. Let's go back to the... I think the eyes are still a bit weird. She's got the same eyes as Beanie, but with the white dot in the middle. Is that... I feel like we can't tell that her eyebrows was raised. So what if we just dropped that entirely? Or what if this one's actually... Yeah, so let's make it a bit more subtle. What if this one's actually just a bit lower? Yeah, a bit more subtle, right? She's still got the eyebrow raised, but it's not like so full on. Maybe we can do a little bit of... Yeah. Yeah, that's looking a bit better. I'd say she's cute. I might completely redo the hair. What are we thinking with, like... You know who's really fucking cute? The girl from Dan to Dan. I know she's a cartoon character. I know that's a bit creep to say that because canonically she's like 16 or something. You know who I'm talking about? You know the anime Dan to Dan? Momo. Is that her name? She's really cute, this girl. I think she's really cute. And she's got this very interesting, like she's got these bits on her hair that, like, they, like, cross over. And I just think she's just, like, a very cutely drawn character. I know that's a big... I mean cute. I don't mean, like, attractive. I don't know, like... She's supposed to be young in the anime, so it's a bit weird. But the point is I quite like the use of, like, strategic dangly hair strands. Like should I just go wacky and do that, you know? No, Momo is her name? Yeah, her name's Momo. It's a weird name for a kid. For a human. Okay. Are we sort of happy with Felicity? She's not at all like I imagined her. We need to do shading under the hair, so let's just do a quick bit of shading under the hair. Just do a quick bit of that. I'm going to put it on the hair layer. Shading under the hair. And on our right, it will be corner inclusive. And on our left, it will be corner exclusive. It gives a little bit of depth. I think I should redo the hair. We've got a good face here. So I'll take that. I'll make a new frame. I'll paste it just in case I want it back. And I'm just going to try again. Hair. Like I'm thinking, like I think these are quite cool. Like that's a good look. Not like that. But like sort of, I mean, seductive is her thing. That's her whole thing. Seductive undead girl. Sexy goth girl, right? We're going to do sexy demon. And also, she is the same person as sexy demon girl. But this kind of bit of hair is like, that's messy. But like, are we talking... Oh, you know who else is cute? Just as a very similar character. I think get rid of this. I like having one window with tabs. Reza. Yeah. Has anyone seen this movie? Chainsaw Man? She's damn cute. And you see again, they've kind of a strategic hair across the face, right? And so her whole character, minor spoiler, her whole character is she is intentionally seductive, right? I'll say that much. She's intentionally seductive. So it's not like her hair is like a bit messy, but that's intentional. That's part of her look. So it kind of gets in the way of her face a bit, but it's like, that's kind of cute though. And then I'm thinking, would she have her hair down? Or would she have it tied up? Because kind of what I have in mind is, and yeah, the eyebrow thing, like... Like, should we... The other thing I'm thinking of is, when I originally, like, before today... I was thinking that this character would have a hood, right? wants to poke some balloons, let's just say. Yeah, I mean, I love the Chainsaw Man movie. It was a rare 10 out of 10 movie for me. I thought it was absolutely incredible, the new movie that they made. What does a succubus look like? How do people draw succubuses? Dear, getting some weird art here. I mean, yeah, it's got horns. So, like, if we were to take this character, okay, let's get rid of Beanie's second layer for now. Because you know, myself, I'm certainly more of an Aerith man than a Tifa man. Like, I would never say no to Tifa, but I do pick Aerith. Yeah, how does that look? That kind of looks kind of cute. It kind of, again, like, gives her character, doesn't it? It's like, oh, actually, she is kind of sexy. But also, you could just say, what's wrong with the sprite? Why is there shit on her face? So let's take this, and then if we were to put horns on it, how would the horns look? They'd just kind of pop out the side like that. Yeah. So she is going to turn out to have horns. Maybe the horns would be on the side. There's all kinds of succubus. But yeah, succubus have horns. Okay. Yeah, which makes sense. They're horny. You kind of got to have succubus with horns. That's a must. So when I'm drawing her, I need to think about that. I need to think with that in mind. I'm perfectly happy with people making like these characters into stuff, you know. I think what was it? You know, Overwatch, that game kind of only really got big because it had and the male characters because it had sexy characters in. What about straight hair? Just mischievous. Okay, yeah, and then she's kind of got horns as well, in a weird way. Well, not really, but in one of these, I'm looking at this picture. In this picture, at a glance, it's like those look like horns. Yeah, that kind of works. I was thinking of who am I thinking of? I don't know why my brain's going to this, but vampire girl from Witcher 1. That's kind of different to what I imagined. But yeah, and then there's actually room for like character there, you know? So she's actually maybe like straight hair. So like quite tidy straight hair. But a fringe? I generally just don't go for fringes in general. So there's her fringe. And then her hair comes down like this. And then up like this. And then it joins at the back. I generally like to make hair join at the chin here. And then, yeah, it comes down. Comes down so you can tell there's a fringe. And then up a bit. And then, who am I thinking of here? And then pretty tight around the head. And then down. And then this has got to feel very straight. So like... Yeah, kind of like that. I hate having to do this. It's not too bad though. Okay, that sort of still looks a bit weird, but like, how do we sell the fringe kind of thing? So like, cut a couple bits out of it, like, stick to the rule of 4. In fact, I should just go straight to using the eraser, right? No, we still need the outline. Okay, now this bit looks weird, so let's tidy that up. And then we could have like, see, I don't feel like this looks how I want it to look. I feel like the hair doesn't quite wrap around the head properly. It makes her, it's hard to make these characters look attractive because they've all got kind of such big chins basically. And I feel like this haircut accentuates her chin, right? Oh, nice. Yeah, thanks for joining. I really appreciate you joining, Varplume. That was really nice to have the company. So yeah, please join again. Yeah, you made me feel like I wasn't alone. So I really appreciate that. Thank you. Thanks for joining. Yeah. Yeah, I think there's an issue there. Like, it's hard to make a character look attractive because their chins look big unless you kind of... So, like, this hair is better, but I think I just need to redraw this bit. Nice big hair. This is my like go-to hair for like a character who's trying to be seductive. Like effort hair. Not really combat hair. But like I was thinking so much of Sylvanas that I was like going to give her a bow and but I'm thinking I'm not going to give her a bow now. I'll probably give her a ice lance staff. Yeah, that makes more sense. An icicle staff. What is wrong with this? Is it just the shape? She looks more icy now. But this kind of, like, yeah. It's funny, like, thinking about how I was envisioning the character versus, like, how should the character actually be. Just for, like, we want to make it feel like you've got your spread of undead characters. But we've got Darkshawn, we're going to have our Necromancer, and we're going to have our, like, Horseless Headman, who's going to be your, like, very typical kind of brutish like skeleton monster. I feel like she's the type whose hair would match her lips. Kind of an odd choice, but makes sense. It makes sense, doesn't it? The hair would match the lips. Getting a little bit burnt out now. I think I've made good progress. So I just got to reply to my wife. 5 days. Jewelry? The goblins, the goblin looters have jewelry. This guy's got jewelry. Should she have a nose ring? You know, it would be a funny one is if she had like different hair every time, like slightly different coloured hair every time, like Ramona from Scott Pilgrim. This is. But yeah. Funnily enough, that doesn't. Why does this one? Why does this one feel like makes her chin bigger, but this one doesn't? Even though. Is it just it's poorly done? Is it the shadow? I missed the shadow. Is it just that I didn't do the hair very well? It's not definitely not my forte. But yeah, if we're thinking some kind of ice witch, like the human ice witch, she kind of fits the bill perfectly, except like more undead. So let's go check my emails a bit. Yeah, I mean. If I keep staring at it, it's not going to get better or worse. I'm not going to figure it out. So I don't think this is the one. And if it is, I'll probably need to redraw it. So I think I can just delete that entirely. And I think this works fine. Is it the character I want to sell? Yeah, I mean, she's supposed to be... it definitely comes across that she's seductive. She's got the eyebrow raise, she's got the big lips, she's got the smile. Does she look undead? Let's try changing her hair a bit. So I'll take this color and make it blue. Yeah. And then I think her lips will match her hair, even though that's not. I think for this character it actually makes sense. She's like perfectly color coded. Yeah, icy blue sexy woman. Okay, as I said before, I don't want to spend too long on each character. This is fine. We've got a nice spread here. Yeah. Bebop and Rocksteady kind of characters. I guess they're a bit similar in skin tone. What would be like the opposite of yellow? Maybe something a bit more green, like, yeah, more green. So let's take this color here and make it a bit more green. Yeah. Oh, what's this? Is that on the upper layer? No? What's this? Okay. Yeah. It's a bit more green, a bit more kind of vanilla-ish. Kind of just looks like a human in an orc's head. Like a human got turned into an orc. Okay. We have Sean looking very, very grim. Very kind of black and white. Very like... could he have some more color to him, maybe? Like, what if we kept a little bit of... So maybe this skin tone is just a little bit too white. So we want to kind of come back to the sort of... Let's grab human skin tone. And let's just keep some of it. Yeah. And then darken it. Yeah, that's a bit more sort of real. And then the hair is like, so let's do the hair. Can be more like, we could just, again, just have a little bit of the color back. Let's just have a little bit of the color back. Yeah. Yeah, I think that looks a bit better. But keep the gray. Yeah, that works. Okay. Undead. And then the next one to draw, and I think I'm burnt out for now, so I'm going to leave it there. But the next one to draw is the Necromancer, who is going to be your typical... I was trying to think of the name yesterday. This guy, images. This guy. Pre-turning full skullified. Kel'Thuzad. So your typical like bearded necromancer, and yeah, I guess one of the things that sells him is having like a skull on his head. And in this case it's some kind of like demon skull or ram skull. And he's got like green eyes, but I don't know if... I think blue is our color for undead, because undead is associated with ice magic. So we would take our sort of human. Maybe I'm not burnt out yet. Let's take our absolute baseline human and turn him into Kel'Thuzad. So let's give him the eyes, the white eyes. I think that's become a sort of feature for undead heroes. Let's give him... I think let's give them all the same skin tone. Oh. Take this color, add it to this color. No, other way around. Let's take this one and add it to this one and this one. Yeah, it's a bit more contrast. Delete this. And yeah, we go like that. No, on layer 1. Take the skin here, like that. So it's very pale. So we can do the big beard. And I think beards generally, the way I've been doing them is, no, they can have a black outline. Maybe I should do that for this guy too. It kind of makes his beard look more wispy, doesn't it, in a funny way? Like it's a less thick beard. But I think this one is a thick beard. So like we go all in, so we'll skip that bit. But we'll keep everything else. And looking at Kel'Thuzad, I think we've got the sort of moustache. Okay, let's start colouring that immediately so it doesn't look too weird. I wonder if I'm overusing hooded characters. Should this guy be hooded? No, I think like a skeleton, like a skull on his head type thing would be good. Big old nose. Big old nose. He's already got the eyes. Eyebrows. I think big old eyebrows. Angry. Gaunt. At least a full square. Very gaunt. Don't know why that just kind of works for him. Kind of sets him aside a little bit. Slightly different eyes. Kind of a gnarly looking character, right? Should we go bald for him? He's kind of looking a bit like Ming the Merciless. I think 3 lines is enough. And then hair. So like again, just to sort of, oh yeah, the skull. I think the skull, like a skull on his head, like a horned skull. Like a demonic horned skull. Bigger than that. Yeah, I think it works when it's like rather big. Okay. Hey, welcome. Beard colour, carry it over to here. Then we need our darker hair colour so that we can texture this up. Give the hair a shadow from the helm. Give the hair a shadow onto it. Give the hair a shadow. Yeah, it's looking a bit funky, but as I said, I think I'm getting a bit burnt out. I think he's got character. He's definitely got something to him. This line is off. Okay, so we'd want to give this a bit more texture. Let's tidy this up a bit. And then, yeah, take this, get its shaded version. While I check this notification, whatever it is. Lots of pending emails about jobs and stuff like that. No, some spam. And then if I can say that I've done... So yeah, I've given, besides giving Sean and Beanie a glow up, which is a nice achievement, I have made the Orc Chief, I've made the Orc Warlock, and I've made Dark Sean, which is an easy one to be honest, and I've made Felicity, and I've made, what did I call them? I made the 2 orc companions. What did I call them? Lur, Pick and Lur. Yeah, that's great. Corner inclusive at the bottom and corner exclusive at the top. I'll leave that. Yeah, that skull looks kind of cool, I think. Kind of looks angry. Get some teeth. Yeah, that looks cool. Yeah, he's got some character. He's not just slop. I mean, I've done him quite quickly, but, you know, he sort of looks like sort of a kind of funny version, but let's try giving him back his eyes. Yeah, like he's angry. He's not happy. But then maybe the skull kind of does enough for that. Okay, well, you know what? I can look at it tomorrow. I think for today, we have achieved quite a lot. Because I started this today, right? Yeah, this morning. We have Rowan. We have Jack. We have the Orc Chief, Cruel. We have... I need to remind myself of the names. Dashutar. I need to get to grips with their names because they have names now. That's another achievement. Yeah, Dushatar. Close enough. Then we have Pick, who kind of looks like a pick. Then we have Lur, Pick and Lure, like Bebop and Rocksteady, Friends Till the End. Then we've got Dark Shaun, Shaun of the Dead, you might say. We've got Felicity. I feel like her mouth could be a bit higher, or should be a bit higher. Yeah. Dark Shaun, Felicity. Necromancer. Have we named the Necromancer? Shall we name the Necromancer? What is ancient druidic for dead? Okay. Ancient druidic, like used terms related to the word bas, death, or more. Dead, deadly. So like Bas. Basmor. I think Basmar. Basmar. Yeah, the Necromancer Basmar. Yeah. Someone will figure it out. Basmar. Oh. Almost forgot before I quit today. Let's quickly texture up his beard because his beard has 0 texture. Kind of, it's a good sign that it even looks good without the texture. Almost done, then I can call it quits for the day. Have a cup of tea and play some eugenics. Yeah, looks good. He's got some depth to him. Should make his eyes even more gaunt, I think. Yeah, it's very gaunt eyes. Yeah, full shade down here. There shouldn't even really be anything visible down there. Yeah. Should we just do a black here? Just do one black pixel here. And then fill that in with pure dark. Same over here. Yeah, he's got some character to him. Maybe the hair should be longer. But I think that's fine. No one's going to be giving me an award for art. Okay, alright, that's that then. So we have the horseless headman to draw, then we've got 4 demons to draw, and then we've got the units to draw, which will take a while, but not too long. And yeah, we're sort of there. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to redraw these characters. I think the beans kind of work. We're working on a budget here. Maybe I can... Yeah, maybe I can do a bit more. Let's see. I mean, yeah, I'd love to like have fully drawn characters, but maybe that's asking a bit much. Like fully humanoid characters, they don't have to have any animation, just like Vampire Survivors. Like, but I think getting a view of the face and just the fact that the weapons are going to be floating by their heads anyway, like I think it's maybe fine. We have a look. Okay, let's close that. And let's close Unity for the day, and I'll close out the stream right there. Okay, thank you, anyone who joined me today, especially Valplume. I really appreciate your chats and your questions, and it was nice talking to you. So yeah, thanks a lot. Have a good evening, everyone, and I'll be back on tomorrow. No, not tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning I'm not streaming. Well, if I am, it will be a short one. Yeah, I'll be streaming from 9 until like 10:20 tomorrow, and then from probably 10:30 till 11:40. So yeah, I'll be on tomorrow at 9 if you want to join me, and of course at 1 o'clock as well. All right, thank you very much. Cheers. Have a good evening. Bye.